Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare
Pranam, all
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have a quick question. I have a question that Mahaprabhu is saying that distributed everywhere. And like Prabhu mentioned, we don't have to wait to become a big preacher. Okay, I'll give you some. So, what about faithless people? Like, we tell them, but they don't want to. Rather, we tell, like when we go out for book distribution, we tell people, and they don't want to respond. Sometimes they don't want to take book, and sometimes relatives, sometimes they don't want to take up to Krishna consciousness, even though we continue. But if we tell them and they don't take it, then how does that work? Even
Move on.
like you mentioned, distribute everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
distribute. You put in
Okay,
your effort.
so
Whether they take or not, that's up to them. But the fact that we are not discouraged and still continuing to distribute, that is what is Lord Chaitanya's order.
So it's not that we have to wait for, we have to stay hooked on to one person till they become pure devotees. We are not leaving them. No, we just give the message. If they're taking it, great. If not, move on to the next person.
Because
And
there are millions of innocent people.
who are
See, there
waiting.
are, Prabhupada said that in terms of preaching, we have to identify who are devotees, who are innocent, and who are atheists, faithless. So those who are faithless and they don't want to actually, take to Krishna consciousness, then we should avoid them. But if someone is innocent, they are not taking to Krishna consciousness because they just didn't know that this thing exists. If they knew that, with little understanding, their faith develops. Oh, Krishna is the Supreme Personality. Okay, then we give to them. Those who they're innocent people, ignorant people. We give them, and they take it, and boom, they start. So why not focus on them? Why should we focus on the faithless people who are supposed to be? Look, you cannot wake up a person who is pretending to sleep. If that person has decided that whatever you do, I'm not going to wake up, I'm not going to open my eyes. You put elephants on me, you put trumpets, blow trumpets on my ear, I'm not waking up. Then you just can't wake up. But someone who's really sleeping, you can wake that person up.
And that's the song that we sang today. It is Jeev Jago. How long will we go on sleeping in the lap of, Maya Pishachi, in the dian of, Maya's lap? How can we go on pretending to be sleeping? Let us wake up. So those who are, there are so, in this regard, actually, there is, Srila Prabhupada, he instructed Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Vishnujan Maharaj in the early days, that they had this traveling bus party of Radha Damodar bus party. They would come in front of universities. And, there were devotees, there were a lot of brahmacharis who would actually go out and distribute books on the campus. And if there were some interested people, they would bring them to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who would be sitting inside the van. He'd be sitting inside the bus, and if someone was very interested, then they would bring him inside to talk to Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj would start speaking to them. But if Tamal Krishna Maharaj would see that, oh, they just want to debate or they just want to argue, then he would just say, okay, thank you very much. I hope you had a good time. Had nice prasadam, give them some books, and off they go. Next person come inside, So that's something that we might have to do also, because we are limited on time, and we have to definitely make the best use of the time that we have. And whatever we can do to relatives, especially, we've been mentioning this, that the best way of preaching to relatives is through our actions, not through our words so much. Give them prasadam, give them good behavior. That's the best preaching for relatives. And for people who may not be, if we feel that they're very envious or they're faithless, okay, there are other people, move on.
Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj also gave this example, that in a battlefield, there may be many people from our side who may be injured, and So if we want to rescue the people who are injured from our side and take them to the hospital, then on the battlefield, then we have to choose those who can be saved. If someone is, if we have a choice, we have only limited time, but we have a choice to save someone who is like almost at the verge of death or is not willing to come. And second one who is asking for help and he can be saved. Then we have to we have to make a proper choice. We have only a minute to decide. So we give our time and energy to the person who can be saved and wants to be saved, and that way we can make the best use. So here we are in a battle with Maya, and even our friends and relatives, they are engaged in a battle with Maya. They just don't know it. They are injured. They're some, they are so badly injured. They don't even know, but we can see they are injured and we want to save them. So now we are also not generals, great generals. All we are doing is taking them from the battlefield to the hospital, to Srila Prabhupada, to the centers where they'll be treated. We are not claiming that we will treat them. We are taking them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to Srila Prabhupada, and they will treat them. So our job is to just take them from the battlefield, somehow convince them that if, as to those who are ready to be convinced, we take them to Srila Prabhupada and to the Acharyas, and they will treat through the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
And Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is so amazing that there are, Srila Prabhupada says there's so many ways of preaching, right? We just give them some prasad. That's like giving them some antibiotics right there to help them survive, on the battlefield. And then just move when they are ready to, ready a little bit to move or about, then you move them. So like that, giving prasadam, we may think that, oh, we don't know how much effect it will have. Prasadam is magic. Srila Prabhupada said, you can eat your way back to Godhead. Prabhupada said this. So we should not take it lightly. Prasadam can do magic. It can do magic. Not maybe in our lifetime, we might not be able to see it, but the work has started. Krishna's mercy has reached that person. That is the glory of Prasad.
And by the way, we should also realize we are also injured.
Yeah.
We also need help. We also have to stay in the hospital for a while, then come back, take some more people, then go back, get treated,
Get
again,
charged up again, because we should not get worn out, so we should also be careful that we are also saving ourselves from the attacks of Maya while rescuing others. So it is a battlefield. Srila Prabhupada said becoming a devotee means declaring a war against Maya. It is actually a battlefield.
And since it's a battlefield, we are all in this together. We are not alone. Therefore, we have to be with each other. It's not like when we are chanting, then we are alone battling with Maya. We are all in this together. If we get injured, others will come and help us and support us. That's how, because alone we cannot win this war with Maya. We have to be with the army to win this war.
And therefore we need the Sangha of like-minded devotees who can shield us from the attacks of Maya by their association. Hope this answers your question. Sorry to give a 10-mark answer to a 2-mark question. Sorry for